Hello everyone, I'm going to explain in this video some useful tips to use the ButterflyCount app in the field. Check the description of the video to see all the different parts that I'm going to explain in the video. So let's go. First, there are some new functions and new improvements on this last version of the app. You could check the app version here. That is the last one, the 0.17. You could find it in the App Store. And basically the majority of the new things or tips that you could find are here in the menu and specifically on the app. But just to remember a few, one important and a recurrent question I get is how to delete a sample. Really simple. So how I can delete something. There are not any buttons when you include in a 15-minute count on something. There is no buttons to delete. It's so simple, like dragging to the left, it will appear a delete button and it will allow you to delete. The apps always ask you and then you could just say okay. But it happens the same when you go inside of a sample. So look at 15-minute counts. If you also drag to the left, this button appear again. But even if you are counting and suddenly you click several times more than you wanted, for example, abundances of a species, you can also do it by individual. You can always delete, just dragging to the left. It will appear this button. So that is simple. For everything that you need, you just drag to the left and then you can delete that sample, record or whatever. Let's go to the menu in the app. Here we incorporated new things like, for example, the species groups. This it was from before, but now you have the possibility to use butterfly, moths, bumblebees, and dragonflies. That means that if I select moths and bumblebees, all the species, all the European species of bumblebees, moths, and butterflies will be in the searching list. So the list will be super long. So, but if you are just looking for butterflies, just leave it with butterflies and that's it. So always try to be in the lowest number of group. But if you want to, for example, if you selected the moth, there is also a nice function that you can use only day flying moths, because you are just registering the moth that appear in your transit, for example, or in the 15-minute count. So you just want the day flying moth. Which moth are these ones? We selected a variety of species that we consider more common during the day flying, the moths species I mean. But if this is a switch off, that means that all the moth species, that there are several thousand, are included in the searching list. So maybe it can be really long. So just keep it as a butterfly, that is the default, and then the list is short. You can use also common names. So common names, what means this? So if you go to the guide, you see that here is the scientific name, no? Timelicus lineola silvestris, but maybe you are used to use the English common names or your mother tongue common names. So for that you go to the app, common names in guide, and then if you go to the guide, here you can see that suddenly it changed. So now we have the English common names of these species. And that means that you can also look for the common names when you are searching for a species, okay? But if you don't want the English and you want your own language, you can also look for that. So in this case we have Spain as a country. There are many different countries that you can select, but in this case I'm going to select Czechia. And the language, Czech. That everything changed to Czech immediately, but in the field guide, you will see, in this guide, you could see that also the common names appear for this species. So that means that you can use the common names, so common names in guide. This is still not translated, but that means that you can show it in the guide and use it, no, when searching for the species. But let's change again to English to understand everything. The filter, we included in the guide here the function of filter. So you could search by family. So if you just click on this, it will just filter by just one of the families, or also you could include just one species or genus, and then the guide will be filtered. Another tip that I wanted to show you is that when searching for a species, you could always search, starting like here, the example, Lopinga akine, you could always look for, starting with the genus and then the species, but you could look for directly for the species, the second name, no? So for example, Cardui. I don't need to write Vanessa Cardui. We just write in card, it will appear Vanessa Cardui. Or anyone like Macaon. So I don't need to write Papilio Macaon, just with writing the second, it will appear and it's faster. Okay? Another tip that is important is, like, for example, I was registering Pieris rape and suddenly I saw another white and I thought, I think it's bigger, I think it's Pieris brassicae. But later I check it closer and no, it's exactly, it was another Pieris rape. It's not a problem, you could change here directly on the species, Pieris rape. You see that this is like grayish, that means that it's already on this list of the species, but you can click it, it's not a problem. And then the app will ask you if you want to merge this species, the Pieris brassicae, transform it to Pieris rapae. And you see the species, the Pieris brassicae, move to the Pieris rapae. So now they are joined, and there are four, and everything, the time, the coordinates, and a picture if you include it, now is moved to the Pieris rapae. Okay, more tips. Here in this button, the purple button, if you click once, it brings you directly by default to 15-minute counts. Okay, the one that I was doing in this case. But you could change this option. If you go to menu and app, here in primary survey, by default it's 15-minute counts. But you could change it to any of these methodologies that you would like to. So if I want the EBMS transit because it's the method that I use most, I can put it as a preference, no? As a primary survey. So now if I click once on this purple button, it will bring you directly to the transit. You see, not 15-minute counts anymore. And how to find the 15-minute counts? It's just simple to press long, and then it will appear the other methodologies. Okay, so you can change your preference always here depending how you use it. I like it more the 15-minute counts. And the last thing I wanted to mention as a tip is, like, you can, if you experience any problem with the app, it's not working well, it doesn't allow you to upload all your surveys, I recommend to upload as soon as possible. But if it doesn't allow you, just go to menu, log out, and then it will ask you, are you sure you want to log out? All the pending and uploaded records will not be deleted. So don't worry, you can log out without problem, your data will be safe. But it's nice to refresh the app, your account, and then if you log in again, maybe the app works and these errors can be solved. Well, I hope this video was useful. Now you know a little bit more about the app and some useful tips, and I hope you enjoy a lot recording butterflies. Thank you!